Isn't it sacrilegious or rather bewildering that man tends to focus on one single medium when communicating with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, wherein Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has plethora of more? Let's talk about it. There are three different ways by which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used to exert his presence on his chosen servant. That is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used to manifest himself on his beloved servant from three different angles. Number one, bil wasila, that is through the means. What do we mean by this? This is a situation where Allah, in his unique way, bestows blessings, communicates himself through a particular person that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala must have bestowed a certain favor or a certain blessing. Take a look at a rich man turning a poor man to another rich fellow. And that is when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is using a certain person for the progress of another person. And that is what is known as in'am bil wasila, that is blessing through a certain means. However, there are two more. The second one is the one that is known as in'am dunal wasila, that is blessing that comes without what? Without a means. How does this happen? It means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in his unique way, can actually bestow his blessing without using any known means. Without using any known means. And this implies the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used to manifest himself in some people's lives such that they won't even be able to explain how it happened. Take a look at the story of Hadrat Maryam radiallahu ta'ala anha in Surah Al Imran. Whenever Hadrat Zakaria radiallahu ta'ala anhu visits her in her chamber, finding a lot of luxuries, a lot of provisions with her, Hadrat Zakaria would be astonished, thinking, where did you get all this? And she would always say, Huwa min indillah. This is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can't fathom it. Don't stress it. Don't try to know about it. Don't try to get to the root of it. It is Allah's work. That's another angle. However, there is one more. The third one is the blessing that comes bidul wasila, that is negating that particular thing that we think it is the medium of that particular thing. Let's take, for instance, someone eats food for sustenance. However, Allah sometimes can actually use that particular food for something that will be the cause of the death of that particular thing. Now, this will be very strange, but it is Allah's work again. And that is why we have seen a host of instances where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will negate the result of a certain means. Take a look at the story of Hadrat Ibrahim alayhi salam, when he was thrown to fire, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala literally said, Ya naru kuni bardan wa salaman ala Ibrahim. O fire, you've been an agent of destruction before, but today you are going to be an agent of peace. This is what cements the beliefs of the prophets, because they know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can actually work beyond what our gumption, what our IQ can actually comprehend. I remain your brother. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.